Hello everyone, Christopher here. Good to be back. We've had some difficulties in production, mainly that I was dealing with some sad personal stuff in the middle of a bunch of other chaos that you're almost certainly dealing with as well, at least right now. Hopefully, if you're listening to this much later, things have calmed down considerably. Happy to report that this face is back on the case and we're putting stuff together for you to enjoy. I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much, especially to our patrons. This episode is a special sidestep written by my friend Roxanne Lazar and directed by Stephanie Leet. If you're a Patreon patron, you can hear a little interview I did with Ange and Steph over at patreon.com/exoplanetary. Patrons at any level will be getting more extras like this, particularly now that the show is back on track. We're also going to be posting episode 26 on Patreon first, so definitely join us for that when it arrives. It's going to be there as an exclusive first. I'll be checking in with you again after the episode, so see you all in the near future. Exoplanetary, the adventures of the spacefaring Wolverton family and their friends far in the future.
Sentient mobile observation units were deployed in several regions to record and report back on a particular tactic being used to prevent mass hysteria as the world descended into chaos. These units were indistinguishable from humans and able to blend into society so as not to arouse panic or suspicion. The following recordings came from one such unit known as Mobile Observation Unit 537-19, or Mouser.
Entry number 341. Request to increase dosage has been approved by headquarters. Several citizens are showing signs of moderate anxiety.
That'll show him. Teach him to run for Public Utilities Commissioner with all his fancy signs and campaign strategery. Give someone else a shot at it. Don't need an old fart like that telling people what to do. Can't even figure out how to keep his own lawn from flooding. Who does he think he is?
Simpson, is that you?
What? Who? Oh, hey Mo. Just leveling the playing field a bit. I guess you caught me red-handed. You gonna report me?
I don't think it's illegal to deface your own property, but it is a little unusual. What exactly is your objective?
Too many puddles on the lawn, too many birds of sea on land. I'm just an old man. You're just a tin can. You wouldn't understand. There is no master plan. My mother's name is Fran. I bake eggs.
I see. Simpson, I need you to drink this.
What is it?
It'll help. It's been a long week, hasn't it?
Been a long life.
You're doing the best you can, and that's good enough.
I don't know.
Here, drink up.
Ooh, that is nice.
Oh, hey there, Simpson. Good morning. How's the re-election going?
Hey, Mo. It's going. Looks like another landslide. Not to toot my own horn, but the competition's not so stiff. Unless you were planning on running this year.
Not in a million years. Well, I'm glad to hear it's going well. I'll catch up with you later.
Well, take her easy. And if it's too easy, take her twice.
Entry number 348. The population along the straits is stabilized. Anxiety levels are mild to non-existent. Serotonin levels are consistently above average. There appears to be an overall sense of well-being. The local elections are being carried out as usual. The school is still in session, and the Rough Riders' homecoming game is still on. All this despite yesterday's unprecedented flooding, which saw water levels rise another 3 feet, bringing the Straits into the main thoroughfare of our little town. I stood in the middle of the flooded Lincoln Street for a solid 45 minutes talking to Mrs. Wanda Charles about the weather and the upcoming tourist season. I didn't have the heart to tell her there hasn't been a tourist season here in nearly a decade. I didn't have the heart.
No! No! Hello! Fine day, isn't it?
Hello, Wanda. You seem well.
With this weather and another series of twilights on the way, this year's tourist season should be record-breaking.
I guess they were due for another reboot, huh?
And thank goodness. You know that franchise was the only thing keeping this town afloat after all the mills shut down for good. Nobody was interested in this place till they thought it was full of smoldering vampires. And I, for one, am not bothered by it. Bring on the Twihards.
You know, I never did get around to seeing those. I'll have to give them a go sometime.
Works of art, all 27 of them. Now, if you ask me, they must have been divinely inspired. No two ways about it. I mean, writing like that, it just doesn't come from human beings. It comes from outer space and...
Entry number 560. Today, 64.3% of the town's population gathered at the Port Angeles High School Civic Stadium for the annual homecoming game. I've attempted to watch football many times, but failed to understand the appeal. I am, however, intrigued by the frenzy surrounding such events. I've integrated into the community, how civilized everyone is. Streets and buildings, lights and plumbing and houses, they seem to have no idea what's coming.
Up 87 for cheer as we head into the halftime. Let's get up our cheer squad.
Great game so far. The team is looking solid this year.
The attire is interesting, a lot of enhancements to the body.
Uniforms!
It's sort of like a battle, isn't it?
No, not a battle. It's just a game. And we're winning. Look, there's my daughter, number 52. Go, Leanne!
What a fascinating thing to do with one's time.
Doesn't get better than this.
Why does the other team have so few players?
The roads got washed out. Their bus got swept away. I guess only half the players made it.
Wow.
Yeah. Woo! Go team!
Hey, who's that out there on the field wearing the yellow plastic covering?
I don't see anyone. Just a bunch of butts about to be kicked.
That guy out there with the bucket.
Well, he's not one of ours.
That's not some variant on the uniform?
Ha! You're funny. Especially for a cyborg.
Thanks. I think.
You're welcome. Oh, good. He's off the field. Go, 52!
You seem flush. Here, drink this.
I'm parched. Ah, thank you.
People displayed more range of emotion at an intercept or a tackle than at the 18 inches of water the players had to wade through on the field. The Rough Riders were victorious, however, in no small part due to the opposing team having lost more than half their players when a tidal wave swept the team's bus off the road on the 101. Despite the setback, at least 5 players and the driver walked the rest of the way to the game and managed to suit up in time for kickoff. I would document this as continued proof of efficacy of the operation. I did, however, note one incident out of the ordinary. A citizen waded onto the field during halftime and appeared to be gathering water into small tubes. He remained for the duration of the break and then calmly waded off the field before the second half. I can't imagine this was meant to be part of the halftime show, as there was the usual display of cheerleaders. I've marked this for further investigation. Entry number 574. 12 inches of rain fell from the sky. It seemed as if the whole town were being swallowed up by water from above and below. The winds have also picked up, knocking several trees into roadways and on houses. Power lines are also down in much of the city. No sign of panic. I did, however, witness several drivers attempting to enter the grocery store parking lot on Lincoln and end up getting swept out into the streets. I was up to my waist in floodwaters at the time, as Mrs. Wanda Charles was telling me about her cat's gallbladder surgery. She waved to one of the drivers as they floated by us. I believe it was her old neighbor, Mr. Davies.
Poor Rufus, he's been in bed all day and barely touched the lamb I prepared for him. Gallbladder surgery really takes it out of you.
Remind me, Rufus is your feline companion?
My schmoopy poopy kitty cat schmookums, yes. If anything happened to him, I just don't know what I'd do. Thank goodness they were able to get him in last minute. It came on so fast I barely had time to think. A lot of traffic today. Oh, hello, Sam! How is the family?
Good, real well. Thanks for asking, Wanda.
You'll be happy to hear my roof is pulled through, and he'll be right as rain in a week or two.
Oh, so glad to hear it.
So nice to see you, and do say hello to April for me.
No doubt.
Reminder. Update Mr. Davies, Mrs. French, and Mr. Simpson to status complete. For them, it's all but over. There's no chance now of them picking up and moving inland. The Midwest is already running out of food and water. Were there to be a mass migration, who knows what could happen? Letting them drown seems more humane. Or it seems more humane to someone, somehow. Excuse me? You there. I'm with the observation fleet, and I have a few questions I'd like to ask.
Oh, sure, why not?
I'm Mobile Observation Unit 537-19, but you can call me Mo. I'm conducting a study on behalf of the Bureau of Research and Statistics. You are?
Adam. Hi.
I just have a few questions, if I might have a minute of your time.
I'm kind of busy right now. I've got a...
It'll only take a minute.
Fine.
Approximately, how long would you say you've lived in the area? Less than a year, 1 to 5 years, 6 to 10 years, 11 to 15 years, 16 to 20 years, 21 to 25 years.
6 to 10. 6 to 10. Off and on, for a while.
And what is your employment?
I do rehabilitation for western pond turtles. With the rising coastal line, they're under extreme threat, so we're doing everything we can. May I ask what this survey is for, exactly?
You may.
So, I'm asking.
Oh, it's for research. For funds allocation. Do you think local taxes should go towards building a new stadium for the high school?
Sorry, yeah, sure, dude. I think that's a brilliant idea. They should probably put it somewhere much, much higher, though, or maybe on a boat or something.
What do you mean by that?
Don't worry about it. Nobody else is.
You know, speaking of stadiums, were you at the game last week?
Not to watch football. I'm not much for sports.
Oh, me neither. But you were there. What for then?
Well, there used to be a stream behind the stadium. I've been studying a small family of turtles that lived there, but they've recently disappeared. I was just gathering some turtle data.
That is fascinating. I didn't know we had pond turtles by the stadium.
Not anymore. We don't.
What do you feel about that?
To be perfectly straight with you, what I'm feeling is mostly sadness and a deep lack of hope that, like I'm the only one that feels this way and the world has just gone completely mad.
I see. That must feel awful.
It's lonely. I'm sorry, how does this apply to the survey?
It's for balance and rounding out. Emotional read gives weight to technical data.
Right. Well, it was, nice talking to you, but I really got to be going.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you for your time. Your opinion on these matters is most helpful.
Sure thing.
The water supply has been spiked with specially engineered bacteria. These bacteria keep locals from noticing the coming disaster, as well as elevating serotonin levels in the general population. Code yellow on Citizen B-704-21-3148, aka Adam Douglas. Evidence suggests he may have developed an immunity to the treatment. The situation will be addressed. That can't be right. These numbers haven't budged in months. No wonder he's not responding to treatments.
Little late in the day for a meter check.
Huh?
Hey, Mo, right? Working overtime?
Just checking the old meter.
So surveying is the day job and meter reading is the passion project?
Ha! You know how it is.
Sure.
Everything looks good. Well, have a good night.
Yep. You too.
Further investigation suggests distributor for Citizen B-704-21-3148 has been tampered with. Requesting maintenance for District 121-1254 South Lincoln Street. Request denied? Resources for maintenance currently unavailable? Permission to complete Citizen B-704-21-3148 at your discretion? What kind of monster do they think I am? About as helpful as airdropping a plane load of paper towels. Thanks, guys. Funding for District 121 has been slashed. Please continue with Operation Pacification to the best of your ability and as scheduled until further notice. Ha! Fantastic. I'll take your finest whiskey. Double. Neat.
Haven't seen you in here before.
Citizen! Adam!
Long day?
Does the Pope poop in the woods?
You're funny. You're funny for,
A what? A girl?
not exactly what I was going to say.
A what, then?
A chromie.
Excuse me?
Is that not... You don't like being called that, do you?
Another double, please.
Sorry, I didn't mean to...
Shh. I'm trying to enjoy my own company right now.
Really, I'm sorry, though. I didn't mean to be offensive.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. Sorry again. Sorry.
How'd you figure it out?
Well, it was kind of obvious when I called you a chromie. And
No, ding dong. I mean, how did you know about the distributor?
Could have something to do with the fact that you've turned everyone else into zombies.
If they were capable of understanding, do you think they'd last more than a few days without going completely mad?
I don't know, but why don't you give them a chance to figure it out for themselves?
It would be complete chaos. They'd be murdering each other in the streets. At least this way, they get to live out the last of their days with some semblance of dignity, enjoy some shred of humanity.
Dignity? Is that what you call it? And what would you know about humanity?
You'd be surprised. I've got quite a bit of humanity for a chromie.
Well, surprise me then.
You know those bastards cut my funding? We shouldn't even be having this conversation right now. Your distributor should have been fixed, and you should be blissfully unaware of this whole mess. Now, they want me to terminate you.
That's very James Cameron of them. Anyway, I prefer being aware of the mess, even if we are on a sinking ship. I'd rather have a chance to swim than be tricked into drowning. Wouldn't you?
Are you really a turtle guy?
Rehabilitator? I am. Was. The last of them died a few months ago. There was only so much I could do on my own. I also know what it means to scrap along without funding.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Are you? Or are you just programmed to say that?
I have feelings, you know. I'm not a monster.
Well, the jury's still out on that one.
You're still sucking air, aren't you? You might try being nicer to the person who's got your fate in their hands.
Bought with a god complex. Typical.
Just stating facts.
Sounds like you're threatening me.
I'm not that kind of bot.
Just the other day, you watched half a dozen people get washed out into the straits. Like you were taking notes. Just standing there.
I didn't have much choice. It's all part of the program.
You mean your programming?
No. I mean their program for maintaining peace as the world crumbles. It's supposed to be more humane this way. I mean, it's better than sheer terror, rioting, murder, suicide in the streets, right?
They don't think much of us, do they?
Well, you saw it happen too. People floating off to their deaths, and what did you do? Nothing, right? So what does that say about your programming?
You're right. I did nothing. But if they weren't zombified, they might have had a chance to save themselves.
How? Head for the hills? Most people don't even have basic survival skills. If we gave them a chance to run, they'd be wandering around, lost in the forest like injured prey. Most of them would starve to death or get eaten by bears. That is if they didn't die of exposure first.
There aren't any bears up there. They're gone now, too.
I'm sorry to hear that, but whose fault is that?
It's a little late for the blame game. So what's your plan? How are you so calm about all this?
My requirements for survival are far less demanding. I have superior logic and reasoning, which gives me an advantage. And I've also got a contract for pickup when the last ships head out.
If you knew anything about humanity, you'd know that contracts, they're next to meaningless. A thin veneer of civility.
They'll come for me.
Delusional programming probably does make this all go down easier.
Another round. You're buying.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, what happened to the turtles?
Well, a lot of things. It was a long time coming. Years of pollution, microbial contaminants, poor air quality. When coastal flooding brought too much salt into their habitats, that was the end of it. Straw that broke the turtles' back. Turtles in the coal mine.
What?
It's a figure of speech. Sorta.
Oh, shoot. That's Wanda. Hide me. She has some sort of malfunction. That woman can talk for 30 minutes straight without stopping to take a breath.
You want to get out of here? I mean, go somewhere with me?
With you? Just take me someplace dry.
Almost there.
Not exactly what I had in mind.
There's the light tower.
We're climbing up that?
Ooh, you're not afraid of heights, are you?
Of course not.
Good. Now follow me. I used to come here all the time when I was a kid. Watch the airplanes fly over. My grandparents lived about a mile away. Spent a lot of summers here.
It's so peaceful up here.
See?
I think I see Mr. Ellis's car still floating out there. That poor, sweet old man. I could have saved him. That's my fault, isn't it?
No. I can't say that. It's not like he caused the flooding. I mean, he probably wasn't using the best judgment, and maybe he shouldn't have been driving a grocery store that way. Maybe you had a little bit to do with that. I could think worse ways. You know, he's probably out there smoking his last cigarettes and listening to Engelbert. It's the end he would have chosen for himself.
I really hope so.
Victoria's gone dark. He must have lost power too.
No. It's all underwater. About a week, maybe less.
You say the last ships are leaving soon?
Yeah,
You really think they'll come for you?
they will.
And plan B?
Not that I'll need one, but if the pickup fails, I'll just deactivate.
Suicide?
Assuming I'm even alive to begin with,
I have a better
I won't need it.
humor.
I'll try. This is MOU 537-19. I'm at location and ready for pickup. I repeat, this is MOU 537-19 at location and ready for pickup.
MOU 537-19, this is base. We are prepared for takeoff. We regret to inform you all detours have been canceled. Evacuation is urgent. There will be no time for pickup. I repeat, no time for pickup. All detours have been canceled.
What? No, that wasn't the deal.
We regret to inform you all detours have been canceled. Evacuation is urgent. There will be no time for pickup. I repeat, no time for pickup. All detours have been canceled.
What do you mean?
We regret to inform you all detours have been canceled. Evacuation is urgent. There will be no time for pickup. I repeat, no time for pickup. All detours have been canceled.
We had a contract.
We regret to inform you all detours have been canceled. Evacuation is urgent.
No, you can't just leave me here.
On behalf of the U.S. Department of the Interior, we thank you for your service. Please allow 6 to 10 weeks for deactivation.
No, don't leave me behind, please.
Transmission over.
I thought I might find you up here.
Oh, Adam.
They're not coming, are they?
There must have been a screw-up. They're saying evacuation is urgent and there's no time for pickup? It just can't be. They just can't leave me down here. I did. I can't end like this.
Hey, shh. It's okay. Come here. It's okay. Plan B, remember? You still got Plan B.
You sure?
My brains and your brawn? Us against the odds? More like Blopocalypse, right?
Oh, that was wretched.
I bet you had no idea what a punny guy I was.
Seriously, painful. I hope you land in the sun, flying sack of entrails!
Eat asteroids, you bougie scum!
Choke on space dust, you! Ah! Well, I guess that's it.
Hey, come on. I'll take you home.
And where is home?
Just over that ridge. It'll take about a half day to walk there.
Well, I guess this is my new life. Got anything to drink?
Thirsty?
I don't get thirsty. I just need to go offline for a little while.
Okay. Here. I managed to salvage something from the tavern.
Thanks.
Sun's going down. We better get going.
Lead the way.
Well, here we are.
You built this.
No. This was left here by some loggers from hundreds of years ago. I came out here looking for sea turtles, of course, and stumbled upon it. I had a feeling it might come in useful someday.
It's nice.
Needs a little work, but it'll do for now. Come inside. I want you to meet someone.
You mean there's someone else living here?
She's nice. I think you'll both get along. You have a lot in common.
I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? Let's meet her.
Sara? Hey, Sara!
Ha! Who goes there?
Sara, it's Adam. It's me. I've got a friend with me. This is Mo. Mo. Sara.
Hi. So you're the infamous Mo.
Sara.
Sorry. I've just heard so much about you. Rarely does anyone live up to the hype. Wait, you look familiar. Well, of course I do. You have my face. My face. You have my face. What do you put in that flask?
Just whiskey.
I think I'm short-circuiting.
I couldn't think of a good way to tell you, and
Surprise! Here's your face on some strange lady. Mine. My face. You have my face. It's okay. You'll get it eventually. How? What do you mean? Think about it. Do you really think they would have wasted so much time creating your form entirely from scratch? No. You're the effigy, the copy, one of many. I'm the source, the inspiration, the original.
Easy.
Sorry. It's been a long life. How long have you been up here? Years. Too many. All by yourself for a lot of them? But on and off since Adam. How did you survive? Took a few years, but I figured some stuff out.
It's okay. You can tell her.
I was a student at UW when I volunteered for some experiments. I didn't know what they were exactly, except they were offering to cover a full year of tuition. They knocked me out for most of it, so I hardly remember what they did. I just know that 2 years later, when a Seattle tech company unveiled their latest cybernetics project, all the bots had my face. Hundreds of cybernetic clones. I couldn't go anywhere for months after that without seeing them, and people weren't exactly nice about it either. That must have been terrifying. Yeah, well, time went on. People kind of forgot about it. It still haunts me, but more like a bad dream. I figured they must have moved on. It wasn't until some men in suits showed up at my door claiming I'd signed some consent form for periodic updates for their system. Not that I remember it anyhow. I was to report to their labs the next morning. I was not about to do that, so I skipped town and headed north. But they caught up with me, and I kept running, and they kept following. Then I realized that they chipped me, here, on the back of my neck. That looks painful. Took 5 shots of tequila and a dull pocket knife to get it out. But they haven't found me since.
Speaking of, will you hand me that one over there on the table? We've got a can of chili with our name on it.
Here, let me get some lights going on here. Where did you get all this stuff?
Swain's has everything.
It looks so much bigger in here than it does from the outside.
We expanded into the mountainside. We have a few tunnels going underground, just in case.
Nuclear fallout is inevitable. When that comes, we're in a pretty safe spot from the zombies you and your kind created, but Japan is in full meltdown. A lot of the fallout coming from the west is going to get trapped in the mountains. We've got a few days before it hits, so enjoy the fresh air while you can. Makes no difference to me. Of course not.
We do have one more thing to take care of, though.
What's that?
I'll make it quick. I promise.
Must we? If we don't remove your chip, we're taking our chances with any tracker bots they've left behind.
And with the chip, there's a small chance they could turn you into one of them.
Of course. Just don't turn me into Swiss cheese trying to find it. Don't worry. They weren't that creative. It's in the same spot on all of us. Back of the neck?
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Wait. Here. Drink this. Thanks.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Ow! Ow! So
Ow!
you do feel. Ow! Of course I feel. They gave me nerve endings, didn't they?
There. You're all done. It's out.
You want to smash it? It's very therapeutic. Got a hammer?
Right here.
Take that, you bougie scum! Feel better? I do. Yes, I do.
Cheers.
To the end of the world as we know it. End of the world as we know it.
End of the world.
You have been listening to Exoplanetary. I Feel Fine. Written by Angela Roxanne Lazar.
Directed by Stephanie Leet.
Performed by
Amber Schein as Mouser and Sara.
Daniel Timothy Treacy as Adam.
Angela Roxanne Lazar as Wanda. And Communications.
Michael Burles as
Simpson.
Stephanie Leet as Mrs. French.
Bobby Eversman as Brother Dustin.
Music provided by Jacob Jansen.
Sound effects by Danger Marshall.
Recorded at the Willamette Radio Workshop in sunny Portland, Oregon. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, if you did like this episode, please let us know. My hope is we can make some sort of a spin-off show to continue Mauser's story, and we definitely like your input on that. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can find us on Facebook at Exoplanetary and on Twitter at ExoplanetaryPod. And if you'd like to write us a longer message, you could do that by emailing us at exoplanetarymail@gmail.com. See you soon.